I quit focusing on the handicap and began appreciating the gift. It was a case of Christ's strength moving in on my weakness. Now I take limitations in stride and with good cheer. These limitations that cut me down to size, abuse, accidents, opposition, bad breaks, I just let Christ take over. And so the weaker I get, the stronger I become.
If I wasn't at Perpetual Help Home, I would probably barely be getting up or barely not even getting any sleep, using drugs.
I think if I would have not came to Perpetual, I'd probably be dead today because, I know I'd rather have a bullet in my head than a needle in my arm.
If I hadn't heard about Perpetual Help, I think I probably would have stayed with the wrong people. I would have probably gotten myself in a lot of trouble.
Before I came to Perpetual Help Home, I was lost.
I was taking care of my mom, and I was also doing a caregiving job for other people who had disabilities, and these were developmental as well as physical disabilities. I had moved from California after my mom had passed away, and I was hoping to find a better life out here, but I had fallen in with the wrong crowd. I have a associate's degree in art, fine art, and I also have a bachelor's degree in art history.
I was in my drug use, and CPS came in and took my son, so I decided to get clean and go to rehab.
I went to move in with a guy, and he turned out not to be who he said he was.
I started running away from home and all that, rebellion and stuff that kids do. I started that when I was about 12. I moved out of my dad's house and I quit high school when I was 16.
And while I was in rehab, I had asked my caseworker if there was a sober living place in Victoria, and she had mentioned Perpetual Help Home. So I decided to give it a try. Here I am.
I was told about Perpetual Help Home by a local church in Yoakum.
I've been going back and forth from rehab since I was 14. So that never really helped me, but I just wasn't ready yet. It was to the point where I wasn't enjoying the high anymore. I'd be tweaking on suicide. I wasn't enjoying the high, but then I kept getting high, and I just didn't know another life. I didn't know how to stop. I came to Perpetual Help Home about a year and a half ago. My aunt had just committed suicide, and she was in her addiction. She was always talking to me about getting clean, which in the back of my head I always wanted to do. And so I came here with the kids. It didn't last very long. It lasted about 3 weeks. My dad came and picked up the kids to see them one weekend, and I was by myself, so I went ahead and I left and I used. And shortly after that, I left the house, for good. And I stayed out there for another year and a half, and it got even worse really quick. I ended up I lost my car. I have had 2 CPS cases. So this last time when I got really bad in my addiction, my dad took my kids from me. I was on the street for a week, and I remember calling my dad. And I was just freaking out. I was like, Dad, I'm gonna be killed out here, or I'm gonna kill somebody. I lost my mind. And he came and picked me up, and he said, you can stay the night out here, but you can't stay here. You need to figure something out. And the next day I got on a bus and I went to San Antonio to get clean. I stayed at a sober living house up there. It's kind of like Perpetual, the Oxford houses. I stayed up there for about 4 months. And then, I had enough clean time, and I was able to think clearly. And I begged Miss Stella to come back to give me another chance, and they gave me another chance, and I was able to come back here.
Brandon, my son, he is 5. He'll be 6 next month. He is autistic, and he has speech delay, but he's a loving kid, and our bond is great, and just can't wait till he come home.
So my son, his name is Shiloh. Man, he's beautiful. He's definitely brings a lot of light to my life. He's been by my side the whole time, through my addiction, and he's been through a lot. But he's my beautiful baby boy. Yeah, he's awesome.
A typical day at Perpetual Help Home They have, you start off with the class,
and then whatever buttons to shoot and stuff like that.
and then after that, you start job search. And then at the end of the day, go home and clean up and do a chore and cook dinner. And then we try to eat together, but no, it don't work out because girls have different schedules. Then, Monday nights tonight we'll have Bible study together and praise God. And then I just go home. We're in our rooms at 10:30 and call it a night.
Well, I'm working at the Hilton Garden Inn, and I'm also learning how to sew, and I'm planning on learning how to drive soon.
I'm working full-time at Chick-fil-A. I'm getting my kiddos on the weekends right now. About to have them full-time. I'm loving life.
And now I am currently working at Yummy Finds, and I love my job. It's great. It's helping me with skills of waitressing and serving with food, and they're great. I feel comfortable and I can be myself. It's Christian atmosphere. Courtney and Brittany are great. They are understanding and they know where we make mistakes, and they're here to teach us, and just love it.
Well, my future plans is I'm wanting to get my driver's license after I learn how to drive, and then I'm going to buy myself a truck or a van, and then by then I'll be able to move out, and I'm going to be moving in with a friend out of state.
Like, I want like a simple life, you know, like the normal life. Like, I want to be a good mom, and I want to hold down my job. I just want to have a little place with my kids and it just be us and them. I want to raise them up knowing God.
And I plan to move back to Arkansas with my family and reunite with my son. And I want to attend college to become a drug counselor.
I'm actually going to be moving out of here in about 2 to 3 weeks. I got a trailer house. It's going to be me and my babies. I'm going to hold down this job. I'm going to stay clean, and I'm going to raise my babies. Stay close to God.
I feel like Perpetual Help Home is more than a shelter. It's like family. They're there if you need somebody to talk to or have a problem.
I'm just learning more about God and gaining confidence and feeling like my future is bright.
Man, I'm so grateful for Perpetual Help Home. It has given me a life, you know, and because of that, it's given my kids a mom. You know, they don't have either one of their dads, so, like, they need me. And you, Miss Bethany, and Miss Annette, Miss Stella, Miss Elena, man, they've been feeding me hope and faith, and I wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for Perpetual Help Home.